Hey guys, how are we today? I e- I'm hard to see. I made myself itty bitty down in here, but that way so we could have the background the whole time that we're not looking at stuff that we can see their faces and hopefully get that into our brains. Hey Trista, it's good to see you. And Nature Rocks, Vanessa's in the house. How are you? I'm not gonna start that this week, guys, promise. Oh, I'm so glad you guys could make it today. I do have a small update. Remember when we talked about the Ziz cult and how that two of them, one of them was passed away in the killing of patrol border officer Mayland? Well, remember they were also looking for Michelle, who had purchased the guns that were used in that was in her name. They were looking for her, and then they were also looking for Ziz, the leader, Jack LaSoda. And well, they made 3 arrests. They arrested 3 more of the cult. They arrested Michelle and Jack LaSoda and then Daniel Blanks. And we hadn't even talked about him yet, you guys. I have so much more about that cult. Hi, B Crumbs. How are you? Lurk away, sister. Lurk away. You can stay in my bushes. Oh, um, yep. So I still have so much about that, about the cult, you guys, and about the murders before the officer Malin was killed. But last week I wanted to go over Katya's case since they made an arrest in her case, and then this week this one is really important, you guys. But I would still like to talk about that because it's so interesting. And you guys know Grateful Middle Aged Cat Mama. She found me a lot of good resources for cults and things like that. And I think it's really interesting to talk about. And I hope that now that they've caught everybody, they don't let them go. I think they just got them on misdemeanors a few days ago. So I hope that they can solve Michelle's parents' murder, and also, I hope that they can still prosecute the murder of Mr. Curtis Lind because he was killed before he was supposed to testify. So I'm keeping an eye on those because they all need justice. They all need complete justice, not a little justice. So I think that that's all that I wanted to tell you guys. We can go ahead and get this is I'm really worried about Sophia, you guys. First, let me show you. This is her. She's 16 years old. This picture was taken a day before that she was abducted. I'm going to say she was abducted. Um, I'm not for sure exact. Well, they did charge him with child abduction. So I am going to say that. This was taken the day before. She was last seen on February the 2nd around 9 p.m. in her home in Beaver Dam, Wisconsin. She was 16 years old and she is 3 months pregnant. They say her mama says she doesn't look pregnant right now, but she has really bad morning sickness. So if you see a lady like this, a girl like this that's really bad sick, that could possibly be her. And this is the picture that everybody is showing, but she looks more like this, I reckon, right before she went missing. She sang in the choir. She is the second oldest out of 6 siblings, and she also played basketball. I thought I had that picture up, but I have it in a folder. I'll show you guys. And she went to church every Sunday at Bible Baptist Church. A really good kid, you guys. And but they said that her parents started having trouble with her, and she was getting on the internet and talking to strangers, and I reckon that they kept confiscating phones and devices from her, and she would just come up with another one. And they so she started speaking to this guy, Gary Day. Let me show you guys this winner 40-year-old Gary Day. And I seen where he was divorced twice, and on Nancy Grace she said he was divorced 4 times. But you guys, I'm not having much faith in Nancy Grace these days, I tell you. So whatever we see there, we got to take with a grain of salt. For one, she said that that Sophia was just turned 16 years old, and that's not true. Guys, help me figure this out. She was born on in 2008 in April. So she would be almost 17 years old, right? Not that it matters. Hey, MK, good to see you. How are you? MK's in the house. MK's probably not in the house. He's probably at work, to be honest. Oh, yeah. And so, okay. Thanks, guys. Thanks. I failed college algebra twice, so you always got to you got to double check me with the math. So that's one thing that made me look at Nancy's report a little weird, and some of the recent things, that she's done. So we have to take what Nancy says with a grain of salt. And I hate that, you guys, because I used to love her. I would watch her all the time on Court TV before they even had live streams, I think, and before she had her podcast and everything. So it makes me really sad. But anyways, so Nancy says he's divorced 4 times, and I've found 2 times where he's been divorced. And the last time was with Grace, and she's the mother of his 3 and 4-year-old little boys. And I'll tell you more about that situation in a little bit. But let me go ahead and give you his stats. He's 40 years old, and he is 5 feet 7 inches, 165 pounds, and he's got blonde hair, but it looks like it's bald and green eyes. And so and then this is Sophia, and she is almost 17 years old. And let me show you another picture. That's where she's standing up, and she is 5 feet 9 inches tall and 186 pounds, and brown hair and blue eyes, and she's 3 months pregnant. And I also want to show you guys this car. This is the car. It's a 2014, I believe, Buick LaCrosse. Yep, 2014. And he's switching license plates. First, it was seen with a Pennsylvania plate, and it's KGW 5186. And then he's switching with an Arkansas plate. The Arkansas plate is what he had on first, and it's BBR20L. But when they saw it on the highway here, it had a Pennsylvania plate. So he's probably switching between the two. Oh, you guys, let me put my banner up because it has the numbers that you need to call. You can call the Beaver Dam PD, or also the Amber Alert Tipline, and both of those numbers are at the bottom of my screen. Well, they changed my color to black. I liked the pink better. It was easier to see. I'll have to switch that back. But anyways, yeah, so keep an eye out for them, you guys. They could be between Wisconsin, or he's from Arkansas, and all those states in between. And those states in between, I'll tell you guys about those too, because what he thought in his head is sick. He's absolutely a sick bastard, you guys. Not just because of him taking Sophia, but also what he did in his past to his own children too. Hey, Tony, good afternoon. How are you? It's good to see you. Yeah, so remember I told you guys that Sophia had been talking to strangers on the internet, And back this past April in 2024, she started talking to this Gary Day, and they he traveled up to get her, and I did the math. Well, I asked my helper, I can't say her name because I'll get mine started, and then she'll get all your guys' started. But she's telling me that it's 624 miles between his home in Arkansas and her home in Beaver Dam. And there is some states in between there, like Illinois, I believe, and another one. But so he came to pick her up on July the 29th, I believe. And her parents thought that she was staying with a friend in Beaver Dam this whole time, you guys, from July, the end of July, until the beginning of December. And they said that they had spoken to her constantly, and they had thought about reporting her missing, but that she was around Beaver Dam and still working at McDonald's. But she wasn't, you guys. And I know that they're doing the best they can and stuff, and they would change things now if they could. But we have to just say it like it is, like for us, our own kids and stuff. Don't be afraid. And I know I don't have kids, so I'm talking but I do have a niece, you guys, and she's 24, and we would make her FaceTime us where she was and stuff like that. And now you can track them on their phones and stuff. So I'm wondering why they didn't do that. But don't be afraid to do that, you guys. They will thank you when they get older. My friend Case, her kids are like 26 and 24 now, I believe. And she said that they actually thank her for that. They were kind of strict on them growing up. So don't be afraid to do that, you guys. So anyways, on December the 10th, Gary Day, he has a parole officer, and I will tell you guys about why he's on parole here in a few minutes. But they go and do a home check, and I reckon they can just pop up and do random home checks if you have a probation officer. So they said when they did that, they see a young girl running out from behind his house, and so they finally catch her, and it's Sophia. And she tells them, I'm 16 years old. And she said that Gary always knew she was 16 from the beginning. So he can't say he didn't know her age and stuff like that. And so anyways, she said first she denied any sexual activity because she said she didn't want him to get in trouble, of course. Well, then she says that when he picked her up on the 29th, the first night, they went out to eat at Culver's, and then they stayed at let me see here. They stayed the first night in a hotel in Madison, and then they spent the second night at a hotel in Bloomington, Illinois. But she said that they didn't have any sexual activities until they got back to his home in Arkansas, because in Arkansas the legal age of consent is 16 years old. So I don't think that they're going to be this sick frick in my brain. Like, I don't think that he's going to take his time and stay in a couple hotels along this 600-mile route. If he's not got that on his brain, he's going to try to get back home as fast as he can, and so I hope that they can get him for that stuff now too. But anyways, so after and she's brainwashed, you guys, bad. He groomed her bad, and she told the officers, "We're gonna get married. My parents don't understand me. He understands me, and we're gonna get married," and stuff like that. Well, the only charge that they could get him with in Arkansas was custodial interference and contributing to the delinquency of a minor. If they could have kept him for more charges then, maybe he wouldn't have been able to come back and get her, abduct her a second time, because like I'm saying, guys, those other two states, Illinois and Wisconsin, that they did the deed in those states too, which is major against the law. So I wish they would have tried to get more of that back then. But anyways, and so he got a $20,000 bail and he was released. And so then come February the 2nd, her parents see her at 9 p.m. Then the next morning early, one of her sisters comes and tells her parents, it looks like Gary's car like 2 blocks away running, or a block away. So they start looking for Sophia and she's missing. And they pull up their security camera and he's on there at 7:48 a.m. So he had been sitting there. Neighbors said that she saw him at 5 something. So he had been sitting there for 2 hours waiting on her to get out of the house. I also have to tell you guys that 2 days or a day before he came to get her, her parents called Beaver Dam PD and said she's doing good at home, but we're finding some a weird Google on one of her devices. And so the cops pulled it up and see, here she is in her basketball uniform, bless her. She has so much ahead of her, you guys, and I just pray that her and that baby's safe, because you never know what people like this are going to do. She's made a mistake, but she shouldn't have to pay for the rest of her life for it. Bless her heart. She needs to come home. And this is her standing. She's pretty tall, you guys, 5'9". And this is at her house, I know, because I'll show you guys the security. Yep, so the day before, and this was taken the day before she disappeared. So a few days before that, you guys, her dad had contacted. Oh, also, you guys, the link at the top of the chat, that is for NCMEC, National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. They call it NCMEC, and everybody should be very acquainted with this site, and especially if you're a true crime creator, you should be able to pull this up quick. The link that I gave you guys is to where the active missing alerts are right now. There's more active alerts, like Sebastian Rogers. He still has an active alert, but it's just not featured on the first page. And if you look, Sophia has active alerts out of 3 states right now. So the first one, they did that day she went missing, February 3rd, and then 3 days later in Arkansas, where he lives. And then I forget why they said they did Missouri too, but it was done 6 days later. So she has one in 3 different states right now. So that's why I just gave you guys that link, so that you could get back to it and look at them easy, and to share where you can and things like that. And so what I was telling you guys was the messages that he sent her when the cops looked at them. I don't know if they were able to break the Google code before she went missing, or they just did it afterwards, but it was around the end of January. And let me tell you guys what he said. So it was just one day before, you guys. It was February 1st. And but her parents, they didn't mention it to Sophia that they were having that checked out. But it said that he told her, "I want nothing to do with you. Suicide. You win. Goodbye. And no one will care." And she says, "I'll care, and so will our daughter." She then tells Dave she has named the unborn child Ava. I know how much you wanted a girl, and I know how much you care for your children, Sophia emailed today. Tell her I'm dead, was his response. And then the last one says, I stayed out past curfew probation and I didn't notice. I'm done. And so then he let his GPS monitor die. And somebody was saying that the company that monitors those, they should have informed the police earlier, and they should have had a warrant for him earlier. But they said it took 48 hours to actually get that warrant. But so this is what he looked like on camera that day at 7:48 a.m. So I don't know. Obviously, he didn't come in the house and get her, because it would have caused a big fuss, and I'm sure somebody would have heard. So I'm thinking that she had another device somewhere, because they didn't, or they just not putting those messages out yet. But let me see here. So then this is from Beaver Dam Police Department. It says, this was the first. I'll read that, and then I'll read the update. It says, on Monday, February 3rd, 2025, officers of the Beaver Dam Police Department took the report of a missing juvenile, Sophia Martha Franklin, DOB 4208. She is believed to be with Gary F. Day, DOB 112884. They are believed to be traveling in a black Buick Cross with Arkansas license plate number BBR 20L. Franklin was last seen at her residence in Beaver Dam on February 2nd at approximately 9 p.m. She is believed to have left at approximately 7:48 a.m. on February 3rd. Franklin and Day are believed to no longer be in Beaver Dam. Oh, yeah, you guys. After she came back home in December, there was a no contact order between those two. And it says she's 3 months pregnant. And then the update was, it says investigators have discovered the suspect vehicle has utilized various license plates. The vehicle was seen on the morning of 2/3/25 in Wisconsin with a Pennsylvania license plate of KGW 5186. Anyone having information about this alert should call 888-304-3936. So that was from the Beaver Dam Police Department on the 3rd. And now, you guys, I'm kind of behind the times on this, because there was a lot out about it at first, but now the media is kind of trickling down, and that makes me really sad. So that's why I wanted to talk about her today. Hey, Astro, how are you? Come on, parents. She was gone 5 months and y'all didn't go to her job not once. That's what I was thinking, to be honest, Astro, when they said that she worked at McDonald's. That's what I was thinking too. I don't want to bash the parents. I'm sure they feel awful right now, but we have to be honest about it, and hopefully people can learn from it, you know? Okay. Now let me find the videos. Remember that this Reels, they do videos, but they only do it on Facebook and Instagram. But it's pretty important, so I wanted to show you guys. Let me come back and get you guys. Hang on just 1 second.
OP Nation, tonight, we need your help to find a missing Wisconsin teenager. On February 2nd, 2025, 16-year-old Sophia Franklin disappeared from a home in Beaver Dam, Wisconsin. That's about 40 miles northeast of Madison. Police say Sophia, who's now 3 months pregnant, was abducted the next morning by 40-year-old Gary Day of Austin, Arkansas, who's the father of Sophia's unborn child. We now have this brand new security footage from that morning showing Gary Day behind Sophia's house just before she disappeared. Day is now facing multiple felony warrants for his arrest, and there are active Amber Alerts in Wisconsin, Missouri, and Arkansas. Joining us now is the lead detective on this case, Daniel Coons. Detective Coons, what can you tell us about the connection between Sophia and Gary Day?
Gary Day and Sophia Franklin began communicating online at some point of last year, most likely. That relationship continued to Arkansas from Wisconsin, where she was with him for several months. She was then brought back to Wisconsin after being found by Gary's probation officers during a search of his home. And she had been returned home. He was released from jail in Arkansas and returned to Wisconsin and picked her up.
Now, what do we know about Gary Day?
Gary Day has multiple convictions through the state of...
Guys, I don't know how much they tell here, but the crimes that he was committed for, that he was charged with and he was convicted of, one were they call them crimes against children. So that's the most awful that you can get in my brain. But I'll tell you guys more about those after this.
Arkansas, and charges related to child abuse, domestic violence, things of that nature. Gary Day has been known to visit social media sites and speak with individuals that he may personally know or not know. And then obviously in this particular situation, this relationship likely continued initially online and progressed to a personal, physical relationship.
What about Sophia? Any details about her that would help our viewers?
Well, Sophia's a basketball player. She's a little bit taller. She wears thick frame glasses at times. She also may not wear any glasses at all, or perhaps wears contacts. Sophia may or may not be with Gary physically if he shows up to a store or gas station. So one thing to keep in mind is if you're looking at the...
I thought this was a really good point they made to you guys. Like, everybody's going to be looking for him and her together, but he probably will keep her someplace else, like the hotel or wherever they're staying, and he'll be out by himself possibly. So look for that too. Look for him by himself or her by herself. And I have some more details about her that her mama shared, and I'll share those with you guys in just a few minutes.
Pictures of Gary and Sophia, that if you see one of them alone, and it looks like one of them, you should still submit a tip to your local law enforcement agency or call NECMEC to submit a tip so we can follow up with that information.
Now, let's take another good look at Sophia Franklin. She's 16 years old, 5'9", weighs about 185 pounds, with brown hair and blue eyes. Gary Day is 40 years old. He's 5'7" and weighs 165 pounds. He has blonde hair and green eyes, and they may be traveling in this black 2014 Buick LaCrosse. If you see either of them, call the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. Their number, 1-800-THE-LOST. That's 1-800-843-5678. While Sophia could be traveling from Wisconsin to Arkansas, police wanted us to remind you that she could be anywhere. And also, at this stage of her pregnancy, she may not look pregnant.
My next guest is a college.
I lost you guys. I didn't know where I was. Wait, can you guys hear me? If I can stay back here, there we go. Now I know you guys can hear me. I lost myself and I lost you guys too. That's all right. Okay, now I want to tell you guys. Let me tell you those things that her mama shared right quick. She said she is wearing glasses. She does not look pregnant right now. She has been dealing with hives on her arms, legs, and even face. When I saw this, you guys, when I get nervous, I get hives on my arms and my face, and that's like why a lot of drama and stuff makes me nervous. I say I'm really allergic to it, because I get that way because my nerves get so upset. And bless her little heart, I bet that's what's wrong with her too, that she gets nervous. Bless her heart. Her eyes make involuntary movement when she chews. That's a very good detail. And she's been struggling with morning sickness, and she has been wearing a rose gold ring with a pink heart-shaped gem on her left hand. So that'd be good to look out for too. I know, man. Who am I? Where am I? I'm a mess sometimes. Okay, now let me tell you guys about his past, his crimes against children. And if you weren't angry with this dude already, you will be after I share this with you guys. Okay, let me see here. It's this one. So it says that right now they have 4 felony charges against Day, the suspect. A few days after she went missing, I think it was actually even the 4th, if not the 5th. They've charged him with, let me see here. Let me see exactly what they are. 2 counts of child enticement causing mental bodily harm, and abduction of a child. And so now they're charging him with, see, one of the dates for, so one abduction and one child enticement was for July when he first abducted her, and the second one was this most recent abduction. So why couldn't they charge him with these back in December, at least when they found her, and hopefully he would have still been locked up. Trista, yes, a very sick and twisted individual. And there is 2 parts on Nancy Grace that I want to show you guys. One is a doctor explaining how he is very sick and twisted. That's why I don't curse a lot, you guys, because I save my cursing for idiots and like this. You know what I mean? So I really mean it. So let's see here. This is all I told you guys already. Yeah, here it says the criminal complaint also stated a black Buick vehicle was parked 1 block south of Franklin's residence around 5:20 a.m. The vehicle appeared to be running, so he sat out there for 2 hours at least. And his mother confirmed she bought her son a black Buick. So a 40-year-old man. And they also said his job is an insurance home inspector. I'm not sure exactly what that is, but for his mama to have to buy him a car, that's pretty bad. It shows his. I know there's different circumstances, but for this dude, it shows his lack of maturity, in my opinion. Let's see here. So this tells about what he was convicted for in the past. In 2020, he entered a guilty plea to a felony charge he received in 2019 for endangering the welfare of a minor. And Nancy Grace said that that his wife, Grace, she was the last one that he divorced, that she also was charged. But I haven't seen that anywhere else. The Astro from Space says at first I thought he wouldn't hurt her, but I don't know now. Yeah, I'm not sure either. We can pray that he doesn't. A 4-month-old was treated for a fractured left femur. Femurs are so hard to break, you guys. My big sister, she was in a car wreck and her femur broke, and they said it's one of the hardest bones in your body to break. And also, babies, they are made to go through the birth canal at that age. They're really flexible, So I think that would be really hard. And had bruising on the face and was at a severe sepsis risk, according to a probable cause statement. While Day and his wife at the time, Grace, claimed the child's leg had become stuck in their kitchen sink during a bath, a doctor determined it to be blunt force trauma consistent with child abuse. For that case, Day was sentenced to 72 months of probation and received a $2,500 fine and community service. So I think that that's what he was probably on probation for still. Hey, Debbie, good to see you. That's okay. I hope you have a good day. Let's see. But they didn't bring the child in for a few days. So with their story not matching up to the injuries, and then them not bringing the child in for a few days, imagine that pain that baby was in, you guys. Oh my gosh, bless it for a few days. So that's why they decided to charge that. And let me see here. And because he also had 4 separate injuries to his head and ears, too. Oh my goodness. So in May 2020 is when he pleaded guilty to endangering the welfare of a minor and given 6 years probation. One condition was he was not supposed to leave Arkansas. So I reckon that him and his wife got the kids back, you guys, because he hurts the same child again in 2023, his oldest child. Trista says he may not hurt her if she's pregnant and he has an infatuation with her. Yep, that's true. That's what we'll pray. So, yep. So in 2023, he was charged with a felony for domestic battering in the second degree for an incident that happened on July 2nd, 2023. I believe that Grace was the one that took the baby in this time. And it says a probable cause statement states that Day's wife said her husband lost it and grabbed a 4-year-old after the child climbed onto the entertainment center and ate toothpaste. The child had marks on his left arm and shoulder. And they, in another article I saw where police interviewed the little 4-year-old, and he said that his dad lost it and screamed like the Hulk. Just imagine how that little baby was trying to explain what happened to him. Oh, and guys, in this video that I'm going to play, I zoomed in. They show the court papers and where you can read more about it. It's awful. But then... So why was this case dropped? It says, however, the charge of the case was dropped on May 13th, 2024. So right after he started talking to Sophia, after prosecutors determined there wasn't enough evidence to prove Day caused the injuries. Oh, maybe they couldn't prove it, whether it was between him or Grace. I'm not sure. And see here, it says he had 2 divorces. He divorced from Grace in 2024, and he also had a previous divorce in 2014. And then here it tells that he most recently, Day was arrested in Lone Oak County, Arkansas on December 10th for charges of interference with custody and contributing to the delinquency of a minor. So this is what he got in trouble for with Sophia. And it says his first court appearance in this case was on December 13th with the bond set at $20,000. He is scheduled to be back in court on February 24th for an arraignment, which I doubt that he'll show up for that. We'll see. But wonder who paid his $20,000. I bet they'll be very upset if he doesn't show up, which they shouldn't have got him out in the first place. Oh my gosh, you guys. I wasn't even sharing this page. Oh my goodness. Sorry. Let me show you guys this video now. I'll share it with you guys too so you can watch it.
Turn now to that Amber Alert in the search for a pregnant 16-year-old Beaver Dam girl. Tonight, we are learning more about Sophia Franklin and the 40-year-old man she may have met online. Police say Gary Day is the father of Franklin's baby. 12 News' Hannah Hilliard live in Beaver Dam with the pair's history together just now coming to light.
We now know this was not the first visit to Beaver Dam for Arkansas resident Gary Day. A newly filed criminal complaint outlines how he was here over the summer to pick up the same 16-year-old girl and take her to his home more than 700 miles away.
This man is a predator.
Sheriff John Staley of Lone Oak County, Arkansas, where 40-year-old Gary Day lives.
We're going to have to figure out how to hold him accountable.
According to the criminal complaint filed Tuesday, Sophia Franklin and Day met online in April. The teen using, quote, various phones and electronic devices to communicate with him behind her parents' back. In July, the man secretly picked up the teenage girl in Beaver Dam, taking her to his home in central Arkansas. Franklin's family, thinking she was with a friend, it wasn't until officers did a December probation check.
Two of them went out to do a check on Mr. Day, and somebody ran out the back door of his residence. And turns out it was.
He said even though that this isn't his case, that they are still keeping an eye on all of the addresses that he could be at in those areas. So, hey, Aries, let's see what you got to say today. The mind is a garden. Thoughts are the seeds. You must tend your garden carefully, for if you let evil thoughts grow, they will choke out the good. You're absolutely right, buddy. Oh, that's really good, Aries. That's really good. I've accidentally pressed something here. Okay.
Was a female that was a juvenile from Wisconsin.
They arrested Day and returned Sophia Franklin home to Beaver Dam. But then, this week's Amber Alert.
I was shocked.
Prosecutors say Day was spotted on a doorbell camera near Franklin's home in Beaver Dam Monday morning. The two missing since then.
We're in close contact with them down, law enforcement agencies down in Arkansas.
Do you have an agency down there, like a specific town?
No, we have several agencies actually that we're working with in Arkansas.
Sheriff Staley says his agency is one of those ready to assist.
We're watching the house. The city police department there in Austin is doing extra patrols around that house. If he comes anywhere around here, we're gonna get him.
In Beaver Dam, Hannah Hilliard, WYSN 12 News.
Now, Day has been on probation since pleading guilty in 2020 to endangering the welfare of his 4-month-old son. Records show the child had a fractured femur. Family and friends plan to hold a vigil at the Beaver Dam Bible Baptist Church tonight to pray for Sophia's safe return. That will begin at 6:30.
Guys, I just can't get it out of my brain. A 4-month-old baby with a fractured femur and not taken to the hospital for days. Just bless its heart, you guys. He still should have been in jail for that, in my opinion. And only getting 6 years probation? That's awful.
So here's another look at Franklin and Day's picture and the car police are looking for right now. They think Day might have swapped his Arkansas license plate on that black Buick LaCrosse with Pennsylvania plates. You can share those photos right now on the 12 News app.
Okay, guys, now I wanted to show you how I zoomed in on I didn't have time to do my own FOIA to get the paperwork yet, but I still wanted to show you guys let me see here. Yep, this is the one that I wanted to show you guys. Hang on just 1 second. So it says, let me zoom in a little. On 7/6/23, Detective Harris was victim's mother made a report on 7/5. Her husband, Gary Day, admitted that while Grace, was at work, he lost it and grabbed their 4-year-old son, who was climbing on an entertainment center and was in the bathroom eating toothpaste. She stated that when Gary got onto the baby. He ended up leaving marks on his left arm and shoulder. The bruising seen on his arm matched that of one grabbing hard and squeezing tightly. He observed the bruises and asked him what happened, and the baby told him, "My dad hurt my arms by accident." Oh, he said by accident, guys. Photographs were taken at the time of the and added to the report. And this was the one, you guys, that they said there wasn't enough evidence and they had to drop the case. There wasn't enough evidence to prove guilt. It's okay, guys. Yeah, I know. I watch and keep up with a lot of that stuff, and I am in a lot of the other channels. But here, it's really important to me to bring awareness for what I can about the victims. Maybe we could do another stream about that, and we could all talk about it. But I don't like to talk about it while I'm talking about cases and stuff like that. But it's okay, guys. I know a lot of us, that it gets to a lot of us. And hey, Neat Noodle, good to see you. Yeah, but it's okay, guys. Thank you all for looking out. I appreciate that so very much. And then here, let me see if I can see anything else. Oh, and it said that they showed the baby a diagram, and he had to point to the parts that were being by the interviewer, and he had to point out where his dad hurt him. Oh my goodness. And he mentioned that he didn't like it when his daddy, Gary, grabbed him like that. And he said that Gary gets mad and turns into the Hulk, and it scares him. And he states that Gary punches the house. That's what worries me too, you guys, that if he does this to a little child, what could he do to Sophia too? So I wanted to show you guys this. And then let me see here if there was two parts that I wanted to show you guys in the Nancy Grace. Let me see if this is it. 16 minutes and then 20 minutes. There's just two little parts that I wanted to show you guys. So we don't have to watch it all. I'll share this with you guys too. So if you want to go back and watch the whole thing. So what's coming up right here that I wanted to show you guys was the psychotherapist describes what his mindset might be like right now.
Plates right now and putting different plates on the vehicle, which makes it a little bit more difficult for law enforcement, but we're still working through the logistics of that.
Our friends, News 3 Now. Guys, that is Beaver Dam Police Chief John Cruiser. Okay, let me make sense of what I'm hearing. Straight out to Dr. Bethany Marshall, renowned psychoanalyst, joining us from LA, author of Deal Breaker, and you can see her now on Peacock. Dr. Bethany, thank you for being with us. Dr. Bethany, okay, I might as well get comfortable for you to tell me everything that's going on up here right now, but just jumping out at me, he's almost 41 years old, and he's driving his mommy's car. Let's just start with that.
I caught that too, Nancy. I mean, this is a guy, I think he's probably so prolifically involved in his perversion and his sex addiction and pursuing underage girls that he probably doesn't even, I know he has a job, he's an insurance home inspector, but I doubt he even functions very highly in society, Nancy. He probably.
What she is saying here, it kind of makes me think he might have other victims too.
Lives off his mother, and the fact that he has child abuse charges against his own son, and then he's gravitating towards minor women, tells me that this guy likes to have a lot of power over his victims. He's probably all syrupy and sweet when he meets these girls. He probably tries to alienate them from their parents. He probably tells them that he understands them, that nobody else understands them. But the minute Sophia disagrees with him, I'm sure this is one menacing individual. This is a guy who looks nice on the outside, but is very cruel.
That scared me too, you guys. She said he'd be all syrupy sweet, but when she starts to not agree with him, and that things could get really bad. And so, and what she was telling us here, I thought it might help us to possibly to identify these people too. Pointer Lover says, I'm sure her family is terrified. I know. I have a statement from them that I'm going to read after this.
Rule deep down, and the idling in front of the house, I mean, that is so creepy to me, Nancy. His whole day is spent just canvassing for girls. I don't even know how he has time to do much else, because his whole perversion, his whole obsession is wrapped around this.
Speaking of, joining me is veteran trial lawyer, former felony prosecutor.
This part I'm going to fast forward because it's the defense lawyer trying to give him a way out, and we don't want to hear that. Neat Noodle says, you aren't just dealing with not knowing where your child is, but also brainwashing your child is under that hurts your relationship with them. Yeah, it was said places that their relationship was strained even before the first time he abducted her, and it's because they were trying to monitor her internet usage. And Chris C, it's so good to see you. It has been forever. You need to message me. I hope you're doing good. So I'll fast forward it, and the next part is they're telling about his past charges and what happened to his child. And also, guys, he had 2 kids. They're like a year apart. They're 3 and 4 right now. But wonder why he had such an issue with the older child. It was both times that he hurt the older child. Wonder what that means too. I don't know. He might have hurt the younger child too and was just never charged for that. I don't know.
Talking about what a great person he is, and you're suddenly talking about it's the ankle monitors company's fault that they didn't catch him. Let's just hear who we're dealing with. Listen.
Gary and Grace Day bring their 4-year-old baby Carter to the emergency room with what they think is a broken leg. Doctors do not believe the parents' story that Carter's foot got caught in the sink drain during a bath, and also discover bruising on Carter's cheeks and ears. Arkansas DCFS gets involved in the case, and Gary Day claims he was not present when Carter sustained the injury, but admits it happened several days ago. Both parents are charged with endangering the welfare of a minor for not seeking medical attention for the baby earlier.
Before Daryl Cohen, defense attorney, pipes in and tries to blame the baby for that, getting its foot caught in a drain. Joining me right now is special guest Dr. Stacy Vaughn.
I do love when Nancy gets feisty and says stuff she said before they try to blame the baby. And that seems like something that these idiots would do, you know? Oh, Chris, that's so great. I'm so excited for you. Chris is going to be a nana. Oh. Pointer Lover, yeah, she said that they do usually choose one. Oh, my goodness. Well, at least we can pray now that he won't ever have, like, why did DCS give them back to them in the first place? He shouldn't have been around the baby to even hurt it again, in my opinion. But we can't get started on what wrongs they've done. We'll be here for a while. It's awful.
Vice President of Growth and Prevention at childhelp.org. One of my favorite groups, childhelp.org. Dr. Stacy Vaughn, thank you for being with us. Did you hear that this incident occurred days before, and they are just bringing him to the emergency room with what they believe is a broken leg? The child has been suffering. It's only 4 months old with a potential broken leg, and they try to say his foot got caught in the sink drain during a bath. Wow. I wonder if his ear and his face got caught in the drain too, because they're covered in bruises. But guess what? They get to take the baby home.
Yeah, Nancy, and that's so typical of what happens when children are brought into emergency rooms with a cover story, and we learn, through medical exams and tests that there are multiple injuries prior, but why this wasn't reported to DCFS in that state and why that child wasn't removed, I don't understand that.
And you know what, Dr. Stacy Vaughn, it didn't end there. Listen.
4 years later, Grace Day files a police report claiming her husband hurt Carter. Grace tells officers she found bruises on the 4-year-old's arm and shoulder, and Gary Day admitted he lost it when he found Carter climbing on a piece of furniture after he cleaned up a mess Carter made in the bathroom with toothpaste. Carter tells cops his dad sometimes turns into the Hulk and says this isn't the first time Day has hurt him. Gary Day is charged with domestic battery, but the state does not have enough evidence to prove the case, and the charges are dismissed.
I do not understand that at all. Daryl Cohen, can you just take your defense hat off for just one moment and go back to your glory days when you were on the right side of the law? Really? They didn't have enough evidence? You've got a child with a prior where he brought the child in with a potential.
Yeah, with a prior. It seems like that would be direct evidence. Sometimes, though, in court, they can't bring up prior evidence, though, prior incidences. I know, Pointer Liver, all kids do that. They absolutely do. And Grace, she was at work when it happened. She has to work. We'll listen to this for one more second, and then we'll check out that website. I meant to do that before, you guys, and I didn't get to take a look at it, but I just pulled it up, and it looks like a great resource.
Potential broken leg. Now the same child is covered in bruises. The mom brings him in, and they don't have enough evidence to go forward. Why?
Maybe, Nancy, they felt like they had enough to push it, enough to have him arrested and to give him DA's time, let him be on probation, which really means I am waiting trial. Maybe they didn't feel that they could prove it was him who did it as opposed to mom. And maybe, just maybe, they were too lazy or didn't have enough forensic evidence to prove it was either one of them, and they didn't want to take the child away.
Okay, Daryl,
yes or no?
Do you have any facts supporting anything you just said, or are you just spinning it out like Rumpelstiltskin, right? You're spinning.
No facts, just basic knowledge.
Enough of that, guys. I will leave you the link to that if you guys want to go back and watch it for yourself. Let's check out that website that they were just talking about, though, because if I might put it in my note, but it might be a really good resource. I'd never heard of it before. So let's take a look at that right fast. Childhelp.org. So it says, we are a national organization dedicated to eradicating child abuse and neglect. Join us in our mission to create a world in which every child is safe and loved. Oh, you guys, I read too that while I was doing research on this case, they said at any given moment on the internet, there's 5 million predators. That's what the FBI says. And he's just one of them. Oh my goodness, if that don't scare you, I don't know what was. Speak up to be safe. I'll have to look at this again later. Child Abuse National Child Abuse Hotline. Let's see. Chapters, connect, programs. It's got a lot of good stuff on here, you guys. I dropped that link in the chat if you guys want to check it out later in your own time. Let me make sure that there's nothing else that I wanted to show you guys before I tell you about the good story that I found this week. Let me see here. No, I think that's all. Let me just give you their stats one more time. This was the most recent pic of Sophia. So remember her mama said that she is getting morning sickness right now and her nerves have been upset. In my opinion, that's what's causing the hives and things like that. And she is kind of tall. She's 5'9" and 185 pounds. She has brown hair and blue eyes, and she's wearing glasses, and she's been wearing a gold ring with a pink heart-shaped gem on her left hand. So now let me show you him one more time. Let's see here. He's balding, and he's shorter than her. He's 5 feet 7 inches tall, and he weighs less than 165 pounds. And he has blonde hair and green eyes. And that car, you guys, it's a two. They said that they can pull data from that car. I think they said if they have an active OnStar subscription. I don't know how many people still get that these days when you can pull up Google Maps on your phone and stuff like that. Let me see here. So it could have an Arkansas license plate of BBR20L or a Pennsylvania plate of KGW5186. So please help me pray, you guys, that Sophia and her baby come home safe ASAP and that he is put behind bars so he cannot hurt his 4-year-old child again or hurt Sophia and her baby. Let me read the statement from her mama, from her dad and mom. They did a statement a week on the week date that she was missing. Let me pull that up for you guys. It says, Sophia has been gone for a week. We don't know what to do other than wait and pray. It's a torment. Her absence is felt every moment. There is so much on the horizon for you, Sophie. Hard things, yes, but good things too. And your family is here for all of it. We aren't going anywhere. We just need you to come back. Your value isn't found in how much money you make, how hard you work, or even the affirmation of others. Sophie, you are so made by God and fully known by God and entirely loved by God. You are a gift to us. For all our family and friends, thank you. Please don't stop sharing. Sophie needs to be home. Please let law enforcement know if you think of anything that might be significant in getting her back. I like this part where it says you are a soul made by God and fully known by God and entirely loved by God. You are a gift to us. I thought that was just so beautiful. Now I want to tell you guys about something good that happened last week, last Wednesday, I believe. Let me show you guys. Let me see here. Let me find it and then I'll come back and get you guys. A lady went missing in August. Let me show this for you guys. And her sister talks about, she was found, you guys, so I do want to tell you that, but I do want to show you the part of where she was missing. Neat Noodle says, I hate it when adults take advantage of young people. Me too. Amen to that. Okay, so this is it was September 12th, 2024. And it says police are searching for a pregnant woman who was last seen at Gulfstream Park in Hallandale Beach more than a month ago. You guys, this came up in my algorithm, right? Um, it just now hit my brain that this lady was found. She was pregnant too. It didn't even hit this was such a good sign, you guys. This is a great sign. Maybe me finding this was saying that we'll find Sophie and she'll be fine too. But this lady is Jenny St. Pierre, and she was 25 years old, and she was last seen on August 5th by her ex-boyfriend in Hallandale Beach, Florida. And she has schizophrenia. And her sister said it's unusual for her sister to not be heard from. She said she was excited about the pregnancy and always checks in with family on social media. She was excited about being a mother and having a child, and also me excited about having her niece or nephew. This doesn't make any sense for her just to go missing. And you guys, what do they always say? They always blame the boyfriend, right? And I'm guilty of it too, you guys. But there was this one lady, Heidi Broussard, and she had just had her baby. And I thought that her boyfriend Shane had done something to her. And I had it in my brain, but come to find out it was her BFF friend. So ever since then, I try not to jump to conclusions like that. And wonder how many people jump to conclusions that it was her boyfriend, you know? So this is Gulfstream Park in Hallandale, Florida. Let's listen to this.
Woman is missing. Her family says she was last seen over a month ago with her ex-boyfriend in Hallandale Beach.
Tonight, her loved ones are hoping the community can help bring her home.
NBC6 reporter Kim Nguyen spoke to the family. She joins us live from Hallandale Beach. Kim, what did they have to say?
Yeah, well, I spoke with that woman's sister who says that the family has no idea where she is or what may have happened. She says that they were all excited about the baby on the way and that her disappearing just doesn't make sense.
It's just scary. It's just scary.
Searching for answers.
This is unlike her, especially being pregnant, to just disappear. And we don't know where she is.
Stephania St. Pierre says she's doing everything she can to help find her sister, 25-year-old Jenny St. Pierre, who's been missing for more than a month.
I've been really just urgently trying to get some sort of.
Yeah, so she went missing on August the 5th, 2024. And the next video I'm going to show you guys, she was found on February the 12th. She was just found just a few days ago, you guys, and she's safe and her baby's safe.
Sort of answers to find out where she is or what happened.
Investigators say Pierre was last seen on August 5th at Gulfstream Park. They say she's currently pregnant with her ex-boyfriend's child. They say he was the last person who saw her.
She was excited about being a mother and having a child, and also me being excited about having a niece or a nephew. This doesn't make any sense for her to just go missing.
Stephania says this is unusual for Jenny, who typically checks in with family and on social media. She says her sister and her ex-boyfriend got into an argument the day she was last seen.
From what I understand, she got upset and she left, and he hadn't heard from her.
The ex-boyfriend called Stephania earlier this week.
They got in a fight too, you guys. So, I mean, if I would have seen this when it just happened, I can't lie and say that he wouldn't have been number one suspect in my brain too, especially hearing that they got in a fight. But he was the one to alert that she had went missing. So, that would be a good sign in my eyes too.
This week, concerned that he hadn't heard from her. Police confirmed that he has been cooperating with detectives. Stephania says when she heard from him, she reported her sister missing immediately. Investigators say Jenny has schizophrenia and was last seen wearing a purple shirt and black pants and has a tattoo on her collarbone.
We need some sort of answers.
And anyone with information is asked to reach out to Hallandale Beach.
Okay, guys, now I'll show you the good update. Let me get it. So she was found. I didn't check and see how far away this was, but it's very far, I can tell you that. So from Hallandale, Florida, she was found in Manhattan, New York. Hey, Sunday Doodles, it's so good to see you. How are you? Sunday Doodles is in the house. Are you in the house or are you at work? Oh. Okay, guys, so she was found just on the 12th in New York, in Manhattan. So she couldn't have got any further away, I don't think. But this is really good news, you guys.
Pregnant woman who disappeared in Hallandale Beach last year has turned up in New York City. That woman gave birth on a subway train yesterday. Nico Clemens reached out to the woman's family. Nico, what do they have to say about all this?
Well, Trina, her mother is still here in South Florida. She has a sister in Texas, but we're actually not far from where Jenny St. Pierre was last seen. Her family, Trina, they prayed and prayed. They searched, but nothing until yesterday when they got word of a video thousands of miles away.
Medical situation.
The only thing I say, that's a blessing.
Answered prayers.
That's a miracle happening.
That is a big miracle, you guys. So what, 7 months, 6 or 7 months later, she has made it all that way and gave birth on a subway, you guys. And I've never seen a subway in real life, but my friend who lives in London, England, he sent me a video of a subway, and so I've seen them, on video, and I just couldn't imagine. And bless the people that were there to help her, and that baby is fine. And this is the mama, and she's saying she can't wait to get them home. So hopefully that they can get her home and get her on her right medication for her schizophrenia, and that her and the baby, they'll be so loved. I know that they're already so loved, and I can't wait for them to get back home.
Because if not God is not witness, she cannot have the baby.
Months after her family reported her missing in Hallandale Beach, 25-year-old Jenny St. Pierre is missing no more. This is St. Pierre giving birth on a subway train in Manhattan, New York, Wednesday.
Now I have a granddaughter. I cannot believe it. That's my first granddaughter.
We spoke with her mother Thursday. She doesn't want to show her face on camera, but wants to express how she feels, knowing that her daughter and grandchild are safe.
Every night when I'm sleeping, I'm praying for her to be safe with the baby.
Family members reported St. Pierre missing in August of last year. Hallandale Beach police said her ex-boyfriend last saw her at Gulfstream Park. At the time, police said the 25-year-old was pregnant and living with schizophrenia. The family says there were no updates until Wednesday. St. Pierre's sister says they want her to now get the care and resources she needs.
She's a really strong baby. I mean, she came out a warrior, very strong, very resilient.
Look at her, guys. So I bet her sister is so, so happy. Hey, Wolfie, how are you? It's so good to see you. Wolfie in the house. Hey, Wolfie, we just got to the good ending one. This lady was missing since August of 2024, and she was pregnant and got in a fight with her boyfriend and been missing in Florida since August of 2024, and she was just found all the way up in Manhattan, and she gave birth on the subway. Neat Noodle says, I wonder if she went off meds because of the pregnancy. That thought crossed my mind. It really, really did. And I thought that's probably exactly what happened. Oh, well, that's good, Wolfie. Hopefully that one will last. Yep, so thank God for these people on the subway, too, and for all the people that she met along the way and didn't take advantage of her, because I worry about people that have mental illness so much because they don't have any hurt. They don't want to hurt other people, but if people see them acting out of the ordinary, they could get scared and they could hurt them, or take their money and stuff. They're really, really vulnerable. That's what I worry about. So bless all the people that were good to her on her journey, and bless the people that delivered this baby. I don't know if I could do it, you guys. I really don't. Yeah, vulnerable, Wolfie. They really, really are. Sunday, yep, she's very fortunate. Very, very fortunate. And did you see the little baby, you guys? She was throwing her hands and stuff. She was ready. Hello, world.
I didn't even hear her cry much in the videos. I mean, just a miracle baby girl.
A miracle. After months of praying for one, would you say your prayers have been answered?
Yes.
St. Pierre's mother and sister plan to go to New York tomorrow to see Jenny and the baby and figure out what they can do to keep everyone together. In Hallandale Beach, Nico Clemens, NBC6 News.
So that was a really good one, you guys. A pregnant woman was found and her baby was safe. So that is what we're going to pray for Miss Sophia Martha Franklin too, and her baby that she has named Ava. We're going to pray that they're found just like Jenny and her baby were found safe. And hopefully I can give us a good update soon, guys. Very, very soon. But thank you all for coming to hang out with me today. And thank you, Van, for helping me mod, and everybody else who came and helped me mod too. Trista, I know she has to go to work at 3. That's why I usually start at 2, so she can hang out with us a little bit before she goes to work. And then Chris stopped in to see us. So that's great. Van, can you drop your link, please? And Wolfie says, thank you, Mo, for being one of the great ones. Well, thank you, Wolfie. I am so thankful for all you guys that come and listen to me every day. And I try my best to do my little part of awareness that I can. Yep, and you guys go check out Vanessa's channel. She's Nature Rocks there. That's her link. And Sunday Doodle says, Mo's laugh is my heart every single time. I laugh at myself a lot. Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, that's Van's channel, and you guys go check it out because she posts some beautiful pictures. She has an eye that just I don't see a lot. It's professional, really, if you ask me, and they're so beautiful. And she knows so much about animals, you guys. She makes the scary ones. Like, I'm not into snakes at all. But her snake is actually cute, you guys. It really is, except one day she said, she asked me if she could post a picture in my Discord of it eating. And I said, well, let me see it first. And she showed it to me. And I'm like, this is a little much. It's cool, but it's just a little much. So, Sunday Doodle says Nature Rocks has talent. She does. She absolutely does. And she's so knowledgeable about what she's talking about too. And you could tell that she knows her stuff. It's not that she copies from Wikipedia and stuff like that. Trista says, love you, Mo. Yeah, I'm at work, but I usually listen when I'm not able to be in chat. Well, thank you. Thank you so very much. Yeah, she goes by Nature Rocks, Wolfie. Yeah, she used to say Nature Rocks Vanessa, but now she dropped the Vanessa and she just goes by Nature Rocks. I know, Chris, you wouldn't think that a snake would be cute, but it really is. And it's these spiders that she showed most recently, I think. And she zoomed in on them, and it looks like they've got fur, and they look cute. And then she last year she showed us baby praying mantises after I guess they hatch in like a cocoon like thing, and she showed us them, and she said that they should be coming out soon, and so hopefully she shows us them. And you know that we're all a fan over baby animals, and I have to say I've never seen a baby praying mantises, but they're really cute. She says all the babies have left. I counted 189 jumping spiders. Whoa. Was that the really cute ones that she showed us? Wolfie says, can you let her know I'm sorry? I didn't realize it wasn't fixed. I think that she can see you. Let me see here. I'll put it up. There you go. Yeah. Well, Wolfie, I didn't see your picture. I love tie-dyed, and that looks like watercolor. I love watercolor paint too. I'm not a professional or anything, but me and Aaron, we both watercolor paint, and I just think it's beautiful. She says she can see you, Wolfie, and she gives you, let me see if I can pull it up. Let me see here. Yeah, she says that. Yeah. Yeah. That's okay, Wolfie. That's okay. Yeah, so you guys keep an eye on my community post, and hopefully I can give a good update about Sophia. And if you guys see anything else that we can bring awareness about, please email me, and I'll always do all I can, you guys. I know I have a small platform, but that doesn't mean that we can't help all that we can still. And we only need one person to see, the right person, you know. And it doesn't mean that the views only matter to me for the more people to see, you know, the important information that I put out. But just because we don't have a really big platform doesn't mean that I don't put as much work as if I had 5,000 or 6,000 in my chat. You know, I'll always try my very best. And you guys coming to hang out with me every week means the most to me. It really, really does. I look forward to seeing all you guys. And you know, if I don't see you for a little bit, that I will message you and see where you been. All right, guys. I love you guys. And I hope I'll see you guys in a little bit. And don't forget to take your vitamins and say your prayers too. Most important things. And oh, Wolfie says it wasn't. I used it back in February when she was doing all the tie-dye stuff. Well, I love that. Oh, Sunday. Sunday says, how is your area? We're doing good. We're expecting snow tonight. I don't live in a flood-prone area, but all around us is kind of bad. And so my stepdad came and took my mama to the store yesterday so that she wouldn't have to get out and drive by herself just in case. And so we have everything that we need, and we're supposed to get snow tonight. So hopefully we don't lose electricity and things like that. Yesterday when I looked, 5,000 people in Kentucky were still without electricity, and 11 souls had been lost, you guys. So please pray for them, and please pray that that this winter storm isn't too bad, because people that are flooded out and if it freezes, it'll be so much worse, you guys. Thank you, Trista. She says you work really hard and it truly shows. Thank you. Thank you so very much. Okay, I love you guys. I'll see you next time. Thank you so very much. Okay, bye-bye.